I mean, yeah, if you think about it like that, so like, yeah, Bob sends to Tony, Tony sends to Erica, and then Erica sends to Alameda, like, yeah, so technically, yes, I sent the funds to Alameda, but it was by accident.
So you did transfer funds?
No, I did not. Technically.
Did you or did you not transfer the funds?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you did transfer the funds.
No.
FBI, open up! We have you surrounded!
Fuck. Sorry, I have a do not disturb sign on my door. It's on my door for a reason. Caroline, fuck, I need the private keys to the customer accounts. Fuck.
Are you getting arrested?
Fuck, I need to transfer everything to a hardware wallet. Fuck. Caroline, I need the fucking private keys!
Open up!
My Nintendo Switch. Fuck.
Freeze!
Hey fellas, hey, so can I pay you? I can pay you guys a lot of money right now. I can make you very pudgy penguins. Do you take Zealous Zebras? Boarding.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're enjoying your day. Hope you're enjoying this Bitcoin pump. So I'm not trying to say because it's my birthday today that we got the pump, but I am saying happy birthday to me. Because I am enjoying this price action. Now, obviously, this is due to the fact that we did have the CPI data come out in favor. Also, the fact that SBF did, in fact, get arrested, right? That kind of, maybe you could say, brought some confidence back in the space. And let's be honest, guys, the DXY has been falling, and we did get that rejection right here. And let's be honest as well, we do have the FOMC coming out today, and what is going to happen basically depends on, the tone is what people are going to focus on, but really they're expecting a 50 basis point raise, right? So if it's higher than 50, probably going to be bad for the markets. Lower than 50, so if we get like a 25, the markets are going to absolutely boom, just crazy through the moon. And, if we get 50, then, we may not have any crazy price action. I think we'll just kind of slowly continue doing what we're doing, which in this case probably means that Bitcoin does continue to the upside, right? There may be some consolidation, maybe a little bit of a pullback. We'll go over that. But for the most part, if, everything goes according to plan, then I do anticipate we will continue to see Bitcoin rallying into the end of the year, right? And also, if you guys didn't see the footage of SBF getting arrested or in handcuffs out of court, I'll just play that for you guys super quick.
We're seeing some activity. Police officers, we can see Sam Bankman-Fried in a blue suit and a white shirt being walked to the vehicle. He is in handcuffs. He's been placed into the back seat of this blue Ford vehicle. He was surrounded by police officers as he was walked out.
But the big story today is Binance. Binance saw $3 billion withdrawn from its exchange. You can see right here, you actually could see $3 billion getting pulled off in just literally the past few days. So why is this happening? Now there's these rumors circulating that executives are bailing and there's institutional capital that's getting pulled out, as well as the fact that they could be getting hit with some charges. So should you be worried if you have your money on Binance? We'll talk about that. Also, Gemini got hit with a data breach. So I'll let you know if you use Gemini, if that concerns you or not. And finally, the CFTC is in fact also coming after SBF, after the situation with the SEC, and Gary Gensler is also under a bit of fire. So all of that in today's video, guys. Lots of stuff. Let's dive in. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And yeah, I'm going to get on out of here because, like I said, it is my birthday and I would like to be doing something else. But I love you guys and I'm excited, and I wanted to talk about this because you could see we were talking about these Bollinger Bands getting very, very tight. We knew we were going to have a breakout, and we said that the most likely area of the breakout was going to be to the upside. Now, what I love about what we're seeing right now is we're breaking a very key downtrend level. Let me actually zoom in without the Bollinger Bands, and you can see right here on this weekly, you could see that we are, in fact, breaking out of here. Now, we have to be careful because we did have a fake out right here, right? We have come up above this, and then look what happened when we got rejected. Massive, massive dump, right? And that's what we don't want. We don't want to have a little bit of a fake out, and then, if we do fall back below this area, then you could be looking at that massive dump to the downside, right? You could see also in our giant falling wedge, which we know is a long-term bullish pattern. When we do break out, the breakout will probably be absolutely tremendous. We could even get, back to around $30,000. Not saying that that's going to happen today, but, zooming in, you can also see that we're looking to get back into that zone again right here. But as I said, we just don't want to see, a fake out like this. Now, the reason you can see right now, we are getting at a very, very, very critical level for Bitcoin. Number one, I do want to just say the good news is that we are above this area right here, this 17.6 here. We had this crazy wick down here where we thought we had bottomed. We thought that was the capitulation. We are, in fact, above that. But I do want to just point out that we are approaching literally right now one of the most critical levels, and that's sort of this area right around 18,200. And the reason for this is because you could see we had this wick right here, we had this wick right here, so it was acting as support. And then look what happened. When we tried to break above this area right here, as soon as we hit that level, massive sell-off, right? So we really, really need to get above and hold above $18,200. If we can close above $18,200, hold above it, at least for a day to show, as in like tomorrow and Wednesday, not just like get above it today, because then we can have that fake out, and especially close the weekly above 18,200. It's technically 18,160, but that would be the level to watch, guys. So that's what we're going to keep our eyes on right now. And you can see right now, guys, we are pushing on that level as I'm speaking. So we're going to have to see what happens today. The fact that most people are pricing in the 50 basis point raise, if they come out and do that, then are we really going to see markets super rally? If that's what we're expecting, we're kind of already pricing that in this move, right? So that is just something to keep in mind. And, you can see again, making it very clear, you can see we've already had these lines drawn in right here, and we are just a few dollars shy of getting through that level. So what you would want to do is, like I said, close above that, or worst case, what we could do is possibly come down here and retest around 17,540, which was the top of this area to break through, which at that point, if you haven't already entered your long, then that is where I would re-enter as well. And if you are in one, taking some profit at this level actually makes a lot of sense just to be safe, right? Obviously, if you guys want to learn how to trade, make sure that you check out the tutorial above. There's over $46,000 in bonuses below if you guys are interested. But something that I'm paying very, very, very close attention to is the S&P. Because we know that the S&P and Bitcoin are a little bit correlated. And you can see that this downward sloping trend that's been holding us, we actually attempted to break through it yesterday. You can see right here, we actually came all the way up into the top area and we did close below it. But if we can close above this downward sloping trend, then that would mean that we've broken this trend basically that's been happening since the very beginning of this year. And we may see the it's possible that we could have the S&P, maybe if we're not going to put in all-time highs, but we could rally maybe back up to around 4304, or even crazy enough, we might even be able to get back up into this zone at 4507. So we will be keeping our eyes on that moving forward. So what the heck is going on with Binance, right? You can see right here, Binance had $3 billion in net outflows in various cryptocurrencies in just the past week. So the recent withdrawals come as some crypto experts have criticized Binance's audit, which was conducted by Mazars, and claimed that the exchange's Bitcoin reserves had 101%. However, the figures essentially state Binance's Bitcoin is 97%, which was highlighted by Kraken co-founder Jesse Powell. Powell was not apparently sold. He said, big red flag for me is that this seems to be more of an attempt at proving collateral rather than proving reserves. They even admit to be insolvent with regard to actual assets owed versus tokens controlled. The collateral accounting trick is exactly how FTX played solvent as well. And, they were saying he's going through all this complex stuff, and in general, signaling theory says that if you have a good way of proving something and a noisy way of proving something, and you choose the noisy way, that means chances are it's because you couldn't do it the good way in the first place. And also what was adding some fuel to the fire is that they had halted USDC withdrawals. Now, they said that they were going to do a token swap, and they had to wait until the bank in New York opened, which would allow BUSD to fiat and then fiat to USDC conversion. So that was very weird. I don't know the reason for that. I guess they didn't have enough USDC on hand for all these withdrawals. So very interesting. Now, CZ said we saw some withdrawals today about around 1.14 billion. We have seen this before. Some days we have net withdrawals. Some days we have net deposits, business as usual. And he also went on to say that it wasn't even in the top 5 of the biggest withdrawals that he had ever seen. He actually said that withdrawals were worse during FTX and a few other instances as well. But what's interesting is Dylan LeClaire posted this conversation, and I believe it's with this guy, Andrew Arch Public, and this was the private message, and he says, let people know to get their funds off of Binance. Use my tweet if you want to, or create your own. People need to know. Executives bailing, institutional jump capital fleeing, and charges coming. Just a heads up that a bunch of Binance stories are gonna hit the tape this week. Reporters hitting me up constantly. He says they've confirmed leadership losses. Accounting contacts have serious issues with their POR. No reporter can confirm or identify the parent or ownership structure of Binance and can't track down a meaningful list of executives beyond CZ. All items and stories that are set to come out from outlets like CNBC, Bloomberg, TruthDAO, etc. And, Dylan says, unsure of the claim on the executives, the proof or reserves is undoubtedly shady. Collateralization denominated in Bitcoin terms instead of listing every asset and proving one-to-one backing is hairy. Liabilities are also unknown. Now, we have Mike Alfred down here. He says, I have personally spoken with all three of those outlets this week, plus others. Everyone wants to know why there is so much smoke coming out of Binance. This is just the beginning. So the you-know-what going down at Binance is really next level. The Department of Justice is going to have a field day with this. And then Tony says, I can confirm from sources at the agency. So I don't know. Again, before FTX had collapsed, and I never used FTX. I never had any funds on FTX. I've never promoted FTX. You guys know that. But I didn't think FTX was insolvent. I truly didn't. I mean, the show that they put on was believable. I was just as shocked as everyone else, when this whole debacle happened. So again, I don't think that Binance is insolvent or is having issues. But again, who knows at this point? This is the same kind of stuff that we heard from Sam right before the collapse. And, it seems like CZ has been doing the right thing. But again, I don't know. And, obviously, once again, don't put more funds on exchanges than you're willing to lose, essentially, because you just don't know, right? Like I said, if you're trading, that's one thing. I have funds right now on BitGet because I'm actively trading, but I'm taking that risk. And I know if BitGet goes insolvent tomorrow, which, obviously, which is why you don't want to keep more on it. But I'm just using BitGet as an example. That's just the one I'm using right now. It could be Bybit. It could be Femex. It could be KuCoin. It could be any of these guys, right? If you're not actively trading, just get your funds off the exchange, right? Because we don't know what's actually going to happen. Now, speaking of exchanges, Gemini. If you use Gemini, this might affect you. According to documents obtained, hackers gained access to over 5 million lines of information pertaining to customers' account numbers, email addresses, and partial phone numbers. But the good news is they didn't get access to any personal sensitive data such as customers' names or customers' addresses. The only thing that they were able to get was emails, part of phone numbers. So I guess the second half were, X'd out, and pretty much account numbers. So what does this mean? Well, it means that if you're using Gemini, just be careful, because what they've done in the past when they get information like this is they'll basically send you an email, because now they have your email and they know that you use Gemini, and they'll, say you got to verify something or change your password or something like that. And it's a phishing link. And when you click it, it'll take you to something that looks exactly like Gemini's website, but it's a fake website. And when you enter your real information, well, they can, get your info, right? So that, and they could maybe steal your money too. So just be careful, especially if you're using Gemini. Be careful. The emails that you may get, make sure you read them over and have a look at them, and don't click on anything that you don't know that is not verified, and definitely don't ever give anyone your private keys. You guys know that, right? So side note, super quick, I'm kind of tired of this whole SBF thing, but basically the CFTC is also coming after Sam now too. So they go on to say that, they had stuff in the code that favored Alameda, that allowed them to trade with their customers' funds. They had a limitless line of credit, and customers' assets were routinely commingled with Alameda's funds. So there's just more coming down from the SEC and the CFTC. And speaking of the SEC, if you guys actually watched my video yesterday, or you were over on Twitter, you'll know that Congressman Tom Emmer has alleged that SEC Chairman Gary Gensler knew that FTX was fraudulent, but still held meetings with Sam anyway. So remember, in that article that came out, you had Gary Gensler saying SBF built a house of cards on a foundation of deception while telling investors that it was one of the safest buildings in crypto. And then they also said from the inception of FTX, Bankman-Fried diverted FTX customer funds to Alameda, and he continued to do so until FTX's collapse in November of 2022. So Tom went on to say, Gary Gensler knows that the FTX was fraudulent from its inception. This is egregious considering he had more meetings with SBF than anyone in the space. Gary Gensler reportedly met with SBF earlier in March, and Congressman Emmer alleged that the meeting was centered on engaging the SEC chairman to favor FTX in its regulatory provisions. Tom Emmer said that his office will get to the root of Gensler's relationship with FTX. He added that reports available to him allege that Gensler was working to help FTX obtain a regulatory monopoly. And Emmer also blamed Gary Gensler as well as SBF for the FTX collapse, which he considers a failure of business ethics and regulatory oversight. So that is basically it for me today, guys. As I said, we are approaching this very critical area right here. As you guys can see, the reason that I'm a little concerned again is because we had these wicks right here. And when we did attempt to come up right here on the week of November 22nd, actually, literally, it was, November 10th. Sorry, excuse me, guys. I was reading the year. Reading the year as the day. But anyway, you can see right here, big sell-off, right? We're approaching that level. Just be careful. However, if we do break through this, then yeah, I think the target of 18,943 is totally still on the table. And remember, guys, if you are looking to get your crypto off exchanges, the Ledger Stacks looks totally cool. I've already ordered mine. This thing is awesome. Bluetooth, touchscreen, wireless charging, over 5,000 coins supported. It works with Mac and Windows, iOS, and Android. Freaking awesome. If you guys want to get one, they're a little pricey, $279, but let's be honest, $279, or leave your coins on an exchange and then risk potentially losing them all. So if you guys are interested, make sure that you check out the link below. I do have a link to Ledgers if you guys want to help support the channel. And if you are looking to trade, make sure that you check out the tutorial popping up right here, right now. Until next time, stay crypto, and of course, peace out.